Aymana, go, Aymana. 1 minute, come inside.
You spoke about the Northerners preparing for 2023.
Yeah.
And quite a number of people have said, why would this man be saying that Northerners prepare for 2023 again?
Yeah.
Aren't there other people in Nigeria? So could you expatiate on that?
This is democracy. And democracy, we run a constitutional democracy. And constitutional democracy is all about people. It's about number. And I have no doubt in my mind, we have the number. I don't want to sound immodest. The 2015 election, 2019 election has clearly defined who is who. I'm not trying to be arrogant. And I'm also not saying that it's a thing that must be forcefully on Nigerians. But I'm saying, considering the fact that a lot of things had happened, let me make mention of two things. One was, vividly remember Obasanjo had a regime from 1999 to 2007, uninterrupted. Now, hand over power democratically to Yar'Adua. Yar'Adua only lasted 1 year. The second year, he was ill. We had an acting president in that capacity, which is Jonathan. Jonathan had 1 year. Umaru had only 1 year. Jonathan had the other year. Then subsequently, there was issue of doctrine necessity that suddenly, after the demise of Yar'Adua, the second year and few months, there was issue of doctrine the necessity that made him substantive president at that time. When he becomes a president, you could now recall that Yar'Adua had only 1 year, even in his tenure. Jonathan had an acting president for 1 year and subsequently becomes substantive president for another 2 years at that first tenure of Yar'Adua regime. Now, in 2011, it's expected that Jonathan shouldn't have contested, since it's about rotational presidency, and we are supposed to have uninterrupted 8 years.
Right.
Now, there was an interruption in 2011 where Jonathan contested and won the election. Even when some of us were totally against it, because we knew it would come to a day like this. He won the election. You know, normally it is very rare and very difficult to upturn election against an incumbent government. Jonathan now got his way for second term. Now, Jonathan finished. If you put up the 8 years of Obasanjo, the 3 years of Jonathan, the 6 years of Jonathan per se, is this 6 years? Yes, this is 6 years of Jonathan. You put together, you realize that if you put up your pen and paper, you realize they start to have about 15 years.
So if the North is being marginalized?
We are being marginalized, that's the language. Now, Yar'Adua had only 1 year for the northern slot. Even if Buhari successfully finishes 8 years, automatically you put together, we had only 9 years. So how can you compare 9 years? Even if we are given another opportunity in 2023, if we have another one shot that we may likely going to get, God willing, we have only 13 years. Already we have been cheated for 2 years. But by the way, at least it is better to go to 13 than just end in 9.
But is it about the number of years one spends or competence? So, like as our speaker today mentioned, like competence.
Are you saying that you only have the competence one in southern part of the country? We don't have them in the north?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you say northerners,
the north will produce something competent with full capacity. Certainly not what we are seeing today. We will ensure that we bring a man from northern part of this country that will be buyable, sellable to the southern people, and we have no doubt in our mind the southern people will be, rest assured, will be more confident that this is truly a pan-Nigerian president we are going to produce by God's grace from 2023. And certainly we will lobby. We will call for attention. We will seek for understanding of Nigerians, and certainly it will come to pass.
Right. People, if you are saying that northerners feel marginalized in a way,
yes,
and then southerners have been there for a while, what do you think the southeasterners will talk about?
On normal circumstances, one would have assumed that the southeast should be given an opportunity. But with the trend of things, with the events we are seeing today, with one of their loose son who is busy going about threatening the unity of the country, is a clear indication they are not prepared. We are moving forward. You cannot on one hand seek for justice and on the other hand again you are threatening the unity of a country. It's not there anywhere. So if they are truly serious, we should begin to see them to stop talking anyhow. Stop threatening Nigerians. On that basis, then Nigerians will begin to be comfortable. Then we know they are prepared. Then subsequently, we can negotiate. Politics is about negotiating.